He took his sister and number 39's hand and led her away and whispered, "Since the day my mother passed away, we have never been happy." Every day her stepmother beat her. Whenever she went to her to beg for something, she chased her away. "When I eat, I only have a few pieces of bread left over and the ends are dry and hard." The puppy lying under the table is even happier than his brothers, and sometimes his stepmother even throws him a delicious piece of food. I hope God will have mercy and bless our mother so that we can know about our situation. Let and number 39's go, we and number 39's go somewhere else together. The two brothers walked all day, through grasslands, fields, and rough rocky terrain. When it rained, the younger sister said, "God loves us so we cry with our brothers." In the evening, the two brothers arrived at a large forest. They were both tired from boredom, hunger and the long journey, so they immediately crawled into the hollow of a tree and fell asleep. The next morning, when the two brothers woke up, the sun was high in the sky, the hot sunlight shining into the hollow of the tree. At that time, the older brother said, "Honey, I and number 39's am so thirsty." Whenever he comes across a stream, he immediately goes to drink. "Do you hear the sound of gurgling water somewhere?" He stood up and took my hand to find the stream. The evil stepmother was a witch. She saw the two children running away and secretly followed them on tiptoe. She enchanted all the streams in the forest. The two brothers saw a stream, the water flowing like a silver waterfall down the rocks. He wanted to go down to the stream to drink water, but his sister heard a murmur in the stream. "Whoever drinks spring water will turn into a tiger. Whoever drinks spring water will turn into a tiger." At that moment, his sister told him, "Brother, I beg you, Don and number 39's drink. Otherwise you will turn into a wild beast and tear me apart." Even though he was so thirsty, he didn't and hash 39's drink. He said, "Well, wait until the next stream." When the two brothers reached the second stream, the younger sister heard a voice coming from the water. "Whoever drinks the water from the stream will turn into a wolf. Whoever drinks the spring water will turn into a wolf." At that moment, his sister told him, "Brother, I beg you not to drink or you will turn into a wolf and eat me." His brother had no choice but to drink and said, "I and number 39's try to hold off until we see another stream." At that time, you can say whatever you want. I and number 39's have to drink first. I and number 39's be so thirsty that I and number 39's be exhausted. Then when the two brothers reached the bank of the third stream, the younger sister heard someone and number 39's voice speaking in the gurgling water. "Whoever drinks the water from the stream will turn into a moose. Whoever drinks the spring water will turn into a scorpion." The younger sister said, "Oh my God, I beg you, please Don and number 39's drink. Otherwise you will turn into a child and run away from me." But when he saw the water, his brother knelt down and bent down to drink water. The first drops of water had just passed through his lips when his brother turned into a mang lying right on the bank of the stream. At that time, the younger brother cried and pitied his unfortunate brother who had been bewitched. Mang also cried and moaned next to him. After a while, the younger sister said, "Dear Mang, you can rest assured, I will never leave you one step." Then I took off the golden belt and tied it around Mang and number 39's neck. Then I pulled out the sedge and braided it into a soft rope to lead Mang away, forever and ever, into the deep forest. People and animals walked forever until they came to a small house. Looking at the empty house, my sister thought she could stay here. Then I went to find moss and dry yellow leaves to make a soft cushion for Mang. Every morning, my sister goes looking for tubers, wild berries and chestnuts. I brought young grass home for Mang and fed him. Bring joy to dance around you. In the evening, when she was tired, her sister put her head on Mang and number 39's back and slept soundly. If he could turn into a human, the lives of the two brothers would be truly happy. They lived alone like that in the wild forest for a long time. Once the king organized a big hunt in the forest. The sound of horns, barking dogs and hunters shouting and laughing echoed throughout the forest. Mang also wanted to join in when he heard that. Mang told his sister, "God, please let me join the hunt." He could N and hash 39 bear it anymore. Mang begged until his sister agreed. I told Mang, "But you have to come back in the evening anyway." I closed the door to prevent those ferocious hunters. To recognize him, he remembers to knock on the door and say, "And quat. My sister, open the door. And quat. If you don and number 39 say so, I won and number 39 open the door." Then Mang went outside, jumping around in the cool air. The king and his servants saw that Mang was beautiful and chased after her but could not keep up. Just when he thought he had caught him, Mang suddenly jumped through the thick bushes and disappeared. When it was dark, bring home, knock on the door and say, "My sister, open the door." So the door opened wide, Mang jumped into the house and slept all night on the soft, warm mattress. The next morning, the hunt began again. When Mang heard the sound of the horn and the shouts of the hunters, his heart was filled with joy. Mang said, "Honey, open the door for me right now." Either way, he has to get out. His sister opened the door for Mang to come out and said, "But when it gets dark, you have to be home. Remember to knock on the door and call like I told you." As soon as the king and his servants saw Mang wearing a golden bracelet, they all immediately chased after him, but Mang was quick-witted and ran faster than them. The siege lasted all day, and by evening the hunters surrounded Mang. One person shot Mang in the leg. Mang was slightly injured and could not run very fast. A hunter followed Mang to the small house and heard Mang call, "My sister, open the door." He saw the door open, then close immediately. The hunter remembered carefully what he had seen and heard, then told the king. After listening, the king said, "Let and number 39's go hunting again tomorrow." The younger sister saw Mang was injured and was very scared. She wiped off the blood from the wound, covered it with leaves and said, "Mang is injured, go lie down so the wound heals quickly." But the wound was also light, so the next morning Mang didn't and hash 39 feel any pain. Seeing that outside, the forest was bustling with hunting again, Mang said, "Mang can and number 39 stand it anymore. Mang has to join in. No one can catch Mang." The younger sister cried and said, "This time they will kill you, and then I will be alone in this house in the forest. I will be left alone and no one will know. I won and number 39 let you out anymore. If Mang stays here, he will be sad and die. Every time he hears the sound of the horn, Mang and number 39's heart flutters and he feels he has to jump out immediately. At that moment, the younger sister had no choice but to open the door with a heavy heart. Mang quickly and happily ran into the forest. Seeing the Mang, the king ordered the hunters, "Now we must chase that Mang. Chase it day and night, but no one can shoot." The sun had just set when the king told the hunter, "Lead the way and show me the small house in the forest." Arriving at the door of the house in the forest, the king knocked and called, "My sister, open the door." The door slowly opened and the king entered. Standing in the house was a beautiful girl. The king had never seen anyone so beautiful. She was so scared, because she didn't and #39 see her Mang enter, but a man wearing a golden crown on his head. But the king looked at her with a happy, gentle look, held her hand and said, "Do you want to follow me back to the palace to be queen?" The girl replied, "I and number 39 am sorry, but I have to let Mang go with me. I can and number 39 leave Mang." The king said, "Mang will stay with her all his life and live in luxury without lacking anything." In the meantime, Mang jumped in. The girl tied Mang with a rope and led Mang out of the house in the forest. The king picked up the beautiful girl on his horse, took her to the palace, and held a lavish and solemn wedding ceremony. Now she is the queen, and the couple lives together happily. Mang is cared for, jumps and plays in the royal garden. The cruel stepmother believed that her daughter had been torn apart by wild animals in the forest and that Mang, her older brother, had been shot to death by hunters. When she heard that they were both living happily, the jealousy in her heart arose again, causing her to lose sleep and eat. In her heart, she had only one thought: how to harm the two brothers. Her beloved daughter was as ugly as a ghost, her face was as dark as the night, and she had one eye. She struggled and demanded, "You must be the queen, because that and number 39's the way you are destined to be." The old witch comforted her child, "Dawn and number 39 worry. Whenever I have a chance, I will act immediately." Days passed, and the queen gave birth to a handsome son. While the king was away hunting, the old witch turned into a maid and entered the queen and number 39's room and said, "Your Majesty, the bath water is ready. Please take a bath to relax and rejuvenate your body. Go now before the water gets cold." Her daughter was standing there. Mother and daughter carried the still weak queen into the bathtub, locked the bathroom door, and then left. They lit a fire outside, letting the smoke drift into the bathroom. Soon the beautiful young queen suffocated to death. Having done that, the witch put a scarf on her daughter and placed her on the bed in the queen and number 39's place. She magically gave her daughter the same figure and face as the queen, except for her one eye, which she could not cure. So that the king wouldn't and #39 notice it, the witch and number 39's daughter lay on the side with the bad eye against the wall. In the evening, when he returned from hunting, the king heard that the queen had given birth to a son. He was extremely happy and decided to stay by his beloved wife and number 39's bedside to visit. The old woman quickly said, "No, no. Please, Your Majesty, Dawn and number 39's raise the curtain. The queen is not used to the bright light yet, she is in need of rest." The king withdrew. not knowing that there was a fake queen lying in the bed. At midnight, when everyone was asleep, the nanny sat awake alone by the prince and number 39's crib when she saw the door open and the real queen entered. She took the baby out of the cradle, held the prince in her arms, and breastfed him. Then she shook the baby and number 39's pillow, put the baby in the crib and covered the baby with a blanket. She also did not forget Mang. She went to the corner of the room where Mang lay and stroked his back. Then, she quietly walked out the door. The next morning, the nanny asked the guards if they had seen anyone entering the palace at night. The guard replied, "No, we didn't and #39 see anyone." There were many nights when the queen came like this but never said a word. Every time, the nanny saw her, but did not dare tell anyone. After a while, the queen began to speak in the dead of night. "What can I do, mother? How are my gills? I and number 39 only come here 2 more times, then never come again." The nanny did not answer the queen, but when she disappeared, the nanny came to find the king and told him everything. The king said, "Oh my God! Why does this happen? Next night I will stay awake next to the prince and number 39's cradle." At night, the king entered the prince and number 39's chamber. Exactly at midnight, the queen appeared again and said, "What can I do, mother? How are my gills? I and number 39 only come here once more, then never come back." Before disappearing, the queen came to the cradle to take care of her child as usual. The king did not dare to call out to the queen. But the next night the king woke up again and heard the queen and number 39's voice say, "What do you know, my daughter? How are my gills? I only came here this time, then never came again." This time, the king could no longer control himself, so he ran to the queen and said, "You are none other than my beloved wife." At that time, the queen replied, "Yes, that and number 39's right. I am the king and number 39's beloved wife." At that moment, she came back to life, bright, rosy and healthy. Soon after, she told the king about the sins of the evil witch and her daughter. The king ordered the mother and stepmother to be brought to trial. They were beheaded. After the death sentence, Mang appeared in his original human form. The 2 brothers lived happily ever after. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.